And by the way, I spoke to my doctor yesterday, John Heilman, who laughed at the prospect of getting vaccines. And he said, we got a notification. I said, you're going to get it? He goes, are you kidding me? We're not going to, it's not going to be close to getting a vaccine by early November. And even if we did, it would not be tested adequately enough. It's insanity. But following up on what Grant said, this chaos candidate, which Jeb Bush called him a chaos candidate, I think, as well, is in 2015. But the chaos, the whirlwind that surrounds Donald Trump, no masks. He's mocking Joe Biden for wearing a mask yesterday. No testing. He has said publicly that he told his administration to stop with the testing, pushing convalescent plasma as government by gesture right before the RNC, so he could have the big announcement before the RNC that we're turning the corner. Still saying last night that we're turning the corner. This is basically magically going to go away, like he's been saying for so long. And then, with Air Force One behind him, speaking to a reporter, tells voters in North Carolina to commit a felony. And then, making that even worse, more chilling, the Attorney General of the United States of America saying he doesn't know whether that's a crime, and then starts rambling on in the CNN interview with Wolf Blitzer about the possibility of vote fraud, trying to set up this fall the possibility of the Attorney General stepping in when Donald Trump loses the vote and loses the Electoral College, to step in and say, wait a second, we need to put a halt to these procedures. I mean, it is chaos. And then you look at Joe Biden speak, and the contrasts are remarkable. But again, Donald Trump keeps descending more and more into chaos. No matter what his team plans for him to do, he can't stay on script. He continues to make these terrible mistakes. And by doing so, makes Joe Biden, a guy who's been seen for 30 years as kind of being politically undisciplined and off the cuff, suddenly making Joe Biden look as steady as Dwight Eisenhower by comparison.
Right. It's a long question, Joe. And there's a lot in it.
Wasn't really a question, was it? Wasn't really a question, was it, Heilman? It was really. Yeah, this is Chris Matthews, little ginger ale.
I didn't want to say question. I didn't want to say. I didn't want to be rude and point it out. I was like waiting. I'm like, there's going to be a question in here somewhere.
No question.
I think the point is this. Here's what I think. The observations you just made are all accurate. Here's the question: does chaos hurt Trump or does it help him? And I think there's a conventional view of this, which is that and I think it's basically right, that Americans want to get back to normal. They want there to be safety. They want there to be stability. They want to get their jobs back. They want to feel safe to go back to school. They want eventually for there to be a vaccine. They want the virus to go away. And that Donald Trump's chaos is repellent to enough people that all Joe Biden has to do is convince, again, enough people that he is a likelier path towards stability and normalcy than Trump is. And that should be a relatively easy case to make. And it's the case that Biden is now trying to make. And Trump is helping him make that case by behaving in a totally chaotic way. All of that, I think, is true. I think there's another side to it, though. And the other side to it is, if you start from the premise that I think you and I share, and I know Mika shares, which is that Donald Trump will do whatever he has to do to try to stay in office, including cheat, including try to steal the election. Then the question is, does chaos, in the narrow sense, does chaos help Trump to steal the election? Does creating chaos hurt Trump in the conventional model of how we choose presidents? But does it help him create the scenario that's more ripe for mischief, that's more ripe for the kind of legal, extra-legal, political, jiggery pokery that he and Barr are going to engage in between now and Election Day and in the weeks after Election Day to try to effectively undermine the election and somehow hold on to power. And I think that is the way in which chaos hurts him in the traditional horse race. Chaos helps him in that objective.